Hey, good morning students. So far in the first module we have studied various things. So initially we have studied what is meant by complex number, various properties of the complex number and roots and powers of complex number. So these are very primary facts which you have already studied in the undergraduate course, and after that we have studied a Cauchy integral formula and the evaluation of the complex integrals using Cauchy integral formula. And in the yesterday's video we have studied what is meant by singularity and the types of the singularities. So the main crux of the module is going to start. It is already started in last two videos, and today we are going to learn the next topic, that is called as the calculus of residue. And this residue calculation is very important to solve the integrals, again complex integrals, by using residue theory, right? And before proceeding to residue theory, the calculus of residue or residue calculation is very important. So let us now learn the residue theory, right? Or the calculus of residue, or the calculation of residues. And to calculate the residues for the given complex function, it is very important to calculate the poles of orders. And what is meant by pole and how to find it, how to find out its orders, that we have already studied in last some videos. Now today let us again consider the Lorentz series expansion, because based on this Lorentz series expansion we have to calculate the residues of the given function. So let me write the Lorentz series expansion again. I will write, as we know the Lorentz series expansion is, as we know the Lorentz series expansion is, or you can write is given by, what is Lorentz series expansion? Lorentz series expansion gives f of z is equals to summation n runs from 0 to infinity an into z minus a raised to power n plus summation z is equals to 1 to infinity bn into z minus a raised to power minus n. Let us say this is equation number 1. So this is a Lorentz series. We have already studied this Lorentz series while studying the singularities concept, right? Now let me expand both the terms. The first term is called as analytic part of the Lorentz series, and this is called as the principal part, right? So let us expand both the terms by putting the values of n, and values of n in the first term varies from 0 to infinity, and in the second term it varies from 1 to infinity, right? So if you expand this, then you will get the complex function f of z is equals to a naught into z minus a raised to 0, that means 1. So first term you will be having a naught only, plus, let us put the value of n is equals to 1. If you put the value of n is equals to 1 here, you will get a1 into z minus a raised to power 1 plus a2 into z minus a raised to power 2 plus dot dot dot. In this way you will be having an infinite number of terms in the analytic part of the Lorentz series, isn't it? So let me make the bracket for the first term expansion plus, now second term expansion you can write by putting the values of z, the values of n from 1 to infinity. If you put the value of n is equals to 1 in the principal part of the Lorentz series, then you will get b1 into z minus a raised to minus 1 into z minus a raised to power minus 1, because n is equals to 1, plus b2 into z minus a raised to power minus 2 plus dot 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 dot, you will be having again a infinite number of terms in the principal part of the Lorentz series, right? So this is quite simple to understand, just the expansion, right? Now the next important part is how to find out the residues, right? So there are some formulas to find out the residues when the value of the pole is equals to 1, when the value of the pole is n, pole of order n, and pole of order infinity, right? So let's write those formulas only, 4 formulas which are very important, and based on this you can find the various examples in the competitive exams also. So let's go for the first case, residue calculation. So I can say the residue of the function, I will use the short form RES, that means residue of the given function f of z at z is equals to a is equals to, and this is equals to b1, that means the coefficient of 1 by z, right, in the principal part of the Lorentz series. Of course these terms are not at the denominator, so you need not to bother about the first term or the analytical part. You just think about 1 by z wherever you find in the series expansion. If there is some example, we are going to study some examples, so you will come to know about that. So the coefficient of 1 by z is the residue of that particular example or series, right? So I can say this is a coefficient of 1 by z in Lorentz series. Is the residue of the given function at z is equals to a. Got it? If the given example is expandable, right? In some cases you can't expand it. In that case you have to find out the residue by using another formula, and its other formula is a residue of the function f of z at z is equals to n at z is equals to a is equals to 1 upon n minus 1 factorial, limit z tends to a, n minus 1th derivative, of the function z minus a raised to power n into f of z, right? So this is the formula, and this formula is used for the pole of order, I can write for pole of order n, and if the given example is not expandable using the Lorentz series. If the example can be expandable in terms of Lorentz series, then b1, only b1, because b1 is the only coefficient of 1 by z, b2 is not the coefficient of 1 by z, because b2's coefficient is 1 upon z square, right? So this is the residues of the complex function at z is equals to 1, and if the series is expandable and if the series is not expandable. Now you will be asked to calculate the residues of the given complex function at infinity, right? So you are having some different formulas to calculate the residues of the given function at z is equals to infinity. So let me write these formulas also. So the residue of the given function f of z at z is equals to infinity is equals to minus time b1 is equals to minus time coefficient of coefficient of 1 by z in Laurent series. In Laurent series, right? So this is the formula to calculate the residue of the function at infinity. Again, if the Laurent series is expandable, then and only then you can use this formula. If the Laurent series is not expandable, then how to calculate this? We have one more formula to calculate the residue of the function at infinity of pole of order 1, pole of order n. So residue of the function f of z at z equals to infinity is equals to limit z tends to infinity minus times z into f of z is the formula. There are a lot of adjustment you need to do while calculating the residues of the function at infinity. We'll study those. So these formulas are quite clear, I think, and then we'll proceed for some example based on it. Let me check whether this is visible to you or not. Yes, this is visible. Okay, so let's move for the next example part. Now let us calculate the residues for some examples. I will rub out all this because this is not necessary now. Now to calculate the residues of the function f of z is equals to 1 upon z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. So let's go for the calculation of the residue using some examples. So the first example, calculate the residue of the function f of z is equals to 1 upon z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. This is your example, right? And you are asked to calculate the residue. Now, is this expandable by using the Laurent series? You can't expand, right? If you can't expand, then you can use the second formula for the calculation of residue for the pole of order n. And how to calculate the pole of order? We know that in this case the pole of order, or I can say poles exist at z is equals to how much? You can equate denominator to 0. If you equate denominator to 0, you will get poles at z is equals to 2, and this is z is equals to 1 and one more 1, because you are having two brackets here. So z is equals to 1, 1 and 2. These are the two poles, three different poles. But z is equals to 1 has pole of order 1, and z is equals to 2, here pole of order is 2. Z is equals to 1 has pole of order 2 because its exponent is 2, and Z is equals to 2 has pole of order 1. Got it? So now we know where the poles are exist and we know its orders. If this is known to you, then you can use the formula and do calculate the residues at these 2 points, at Z is equals to 1 and Z is equals to 1 and Z is equals to 2. Got it? So therefore I can use the formula, the residue of the function f of z at Z is equals to a. What is the value of a now? Let's first calculate the residue at Z is equals to 1. So the value of a is 1 here, right? So residue of the function f of z at Z is equals to 1 is equals to 1 upon n minus 1, right? Let me write the formula. 1 upon n minus 1 factorial into limit z tends to a. Let me write the formula first, then we'll change it. Limit z tends to a into n minus 1th derivative of z minus a raised to power n into f of z. This is your formula for pole of order n, right? So what is the value of n? You are calculating the residue at z is equals to 1. So z is equal to 1 has pole of order 2, right? So 2 is the value of n, right? So if you put the value of n is equals to 2, here we will get 2 minus 1. Here z is equals to a is equals to 1, and here n is equals to 2. That means 2 minus 1, that means first order derivative. So I can say first order derivative. Got it? Right? Into z minus a, that means 1. N has the value 2 into f of z. F of z is this. You should put this value instead of f of z, right? So let me put here only. I will rough out this and put the value of the function. The function is 1 upon z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. So these two gets cancelled to each other, right? And you have to find out the derivative of 1 upon z minus 2 only, right? So now just do calculations and you will get the residue of the function. So 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial is 1 upon 1 factorial, and 1 factorial has a value equals to 1, so here you will get 1 only. Limit z tends to 1, and the first order derivative of 1 upon z minus 2. So 1 upon z minus 2 is like 1 upon x. So differentiation of 1 by x is equals to minus times 1 by x square, and here you will get minus times 1 upon z minus 2 bracket square, right? Into differentiation of this bracket with respect to z will be 1, right? So, and now put the value of z equals to 1 into it. Solve this limit, you will get the answer. So this will be equals to minus 1 into 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 square is 1 square, right? So this gives you the residue is equals to 1, and therefore I can say the residue of the function f of z at z is equals to 1 is equals to minus 1, right? So thus you got the residue, right? Now calculate the residue of the same function for other singular point, z is equals to 2. So residue of the function f of z at z is equals to 2, right? Again use the same formula. Now I'll write the formula by putting its values directly. So 1 upon n minus 1 factorial. Now what is the n for this case? For z is equals to 2, the value of n is equals to 1 now, and therefore you will get 1 upon n minus 1, that is 0 factorial. 1 upon 0 factorial, I will write first here, into limit z tends to a, that means z tends to 2 into n minus 1th derivative, right? N minus 1th derivative, what is the value of n? Is 1. So 0th derivative, that means no derivative, of z minus a raised to n, z minus a raised to n into f of z. F of z is z minus 1 square into z minus 2. Now this z minus 2, this z minus 2 cancels to each other, and 0th derivative, that means no derivative, the function 1 upon z minus 1 raised to 2 will be as it is, right? Got it? 1 upon 0 factorial, and remember this very well, 0 factorial is equals to 1. 1 factorial is also 1, 0 factorial is also 1, right? And if you put these values here, then you will get 1 upon z minus 2, z minus 1 bracket square will give you, by putting the limit into it, 1 upon 2 minus 1 bracket square, right? 1 upon 2 minus 1 bracket square. 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 square is 1, so your answer is 1 only, and hence I can say the residue of the function f of z at z is equals to 2 is equals to 1, right? So hope you have understood how to calculate the residues of the given functions. We'll solve some more problems so that you will be comfortable more with this, right? So let's solve quickly now, go somewhat fast to solve some next problems and then homework problems to you. So the next problem is f of z is equal to z square upon z minus 1 bracket square and z minus 2. That is a little bit change in the function only, and let us solve that quickly. The residue will change if the function changes. Z square upon f of z, second problem, f of z is equal to z square upon z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. Denominator is the same like earlier case, but the numerator is changed now, and if the numerator changes, your residue of course changes. So the quite similar. What are the poles? Now the poles are at z is equals to 1, 1 and 2, right? Now z is equal to 1 has order 2, z is equals to 2 has order 1. I need not to write it, just now we have solved. Now the residue of the function f of z at z is equals to 1 is equals to 1 upon n minus 1 factorial. So n is equals to 2, 2 minus 1 is 1 factorial, so 1 factorial into limit z tends to a into n minus 1th derivative, right? N minus 1, that means 2 minus 1 first derivative of the function z minus a raised to power n into f of z. F of z is z square upon z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. So these two gets cancelled to each other, and for the remaining factors you can calculate its derivative, first order derivative, and then put the value, right? Now if you solve this, 1 upon 1 factorial is 1, I need not to write it. Limit z tends to 1 into bracket So the derivative, first order derivative of z square upon z minus 2. Now how to calculate its derivative? So its derivative will be calculated by using the formula differentiation of u by v, right? So how to calculate its differentiation? Denominator z minus 2 into differentiation of a numerator minus numerator into differentiation of the denominator, and the differentiation of denominator is 1 upon denominator square, right? So there is no need to simplify this, just put the value of z is equals to 1 here, and here you are having 2z, so 1 minus 2 is minus 1, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2, minus 2 minus 1, right, upon 1 minus 2 is minus 1, minus 1 square is plus 1, so this will give me minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. So the residue of this function f of z at z is equals to 1 is equals to minus 3, right? So hope you have understood this problem. Similarly, do calculate the residue for other pole at z is equals to 2. So residue of the function f of z at z is equals to 2 will be equals to 1 upon n minus 1. For pole of order, for a pole z is equals to 2 has a order 1, so 0 factorial, right? 1 upon 0 factorial into limit z tends to a has a value equals to 2 into n minus 1th derivative, that means 0th derivative, 1 minus 1 0th derivative, z minus a raised to n, z minus a raised to power n, that means 1 into f of z, z square divided by z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2. So this gets cancelled to each other, and here you need not to take the differentiation also because 0th derivative. So just put the limit z is equals to 2 into this formula, so you will get 2 square is 4 at the numerator, and at the denominator you will be having z minus 1 bracket square. So z is equals to 2 minus 1 bracket square is 1 square, that means your residue is equals to 4, and hence I can write the residue of the given complex function f of z at z is equals to 2 is equals to 4, right? Let us solve some more problems. I think next one is enough to understand, and then you will get some homework problems. Now let us solve a problem based on the infinity or Lorentz series expansion. Problem number 3. F of z is equals to f of z is equals to z minus sin z by z, z minus sin z by z. This is your function, right? Now this function you can solve. You can calculate the residue of the given complex function by expanding the given function. How to expand this? I can differentiate, I can divide by z two terms separately. So you will get 1 minus sin z by z. So sin z by z I can write as 1 upon z into sin z. Right? 1 upon z into sin z. and in the next term you can write this as a 1 minus 1 by z as it is, and into bracket sine series you can write sine z is equals to, this is an odd function, so odd function are having its powers or with alternate plus minus sign, right? So first term you will get z minus z cube by 3 factorial plus z raised to power 5 by 5 factorial minus z raised to power 7 by 7 factorial, plus in this way you will be having infinite number of terms, right? And thus this is equals to 1 minus just multiply by 1 by z to inside the bracket. Let put the minus sign as it is, and later on we'll do that. So minus, here you will get 1 minus z cube by z, that means z square by 3 factorial plus z raised to power 4 by 5 factorial minus z raised to power 6 by 7 factorial. Correct? This is equals to 1 minus, now put multiply by this negative sign to the bracket also, so we will get minus 1 as it is, so this will be a plus z square by 3 factorial plus this will be a negative minus times z raised to power 4 by 5 factorial plus z raised to power 6 by 7 factorial minus in this way, no bracket is, and you can see whether you are having 1 upon z part anywhere, you could not find 1 by z anywhere, no single term contains 1 by z part in the series expansion, and therefore if no 1 by z is exist, that means its a residue is equals to 0, or you can write plus or minus sign 1 upon z, maybe anything its power, into coefficient is equals to 0. So coefficient of 1 by z is 0 here, so therefore the residue of the function f of z is equals to 0, right? So this is how to solve the residue problems in case of Lorentz series expansion. Now let us solve one more. To calculate the residue of the given function at infinity. Calculate the residue of the function at infinity. And your problem is this. Your next problem is calculate the residue of the function at f of z is equals to z upon z divided by z minus a, z minus b, right? Calculate a residue at infinity. This is your problem, right? Now there are two formulas to calculate the residues of the function at infinity, right? So therefore I can say residue of the function f of z at z is equals to infinity, and this is equals to, if this can be expandable in terms of a series, then your formula will be minus time coefficient of 1 by z. But if you observe this example carefully, you can't expand this example in terms of Lorentz series, isn't it? So the only option left is to use the second formula. What's that second formula? Limit z tends to infinity minus times z into f of z is your formula, isn't it? Right? And minus times z is a constant. F of z is, you have to put this value. So you will get limit z tends to infinity minus z into f of z is z divided by z minus a into z minus b. That will become minus z square upon, right? So let me write it again. Limit z tends to infinity, and this will be minus times z square upon z minus a, z minus b, right? Now to get this answer, let me divide by 1 upon z square to the denominator, and then I will get this is equals to minus times 1 divided by z minus a by z and z minus b upon z, right? Z square is separately divided by both the terms because those are multiplied, and if you multiply them you will get 1 by z square. If it goes to the numerator it will become again minus times z square, right? So this is equals to limit z tends to infinity minus times 1 upon 1 minus a by z, and here you will get 1 minus b by z. Now put the value of z is equals to infinity into it, that will be your answer. So at the numerator you are having minus 1, 1 minus a by z. A by infinity is some constant value upon infinity is always equals to 0, right? So 1 minus 0, and here is you will get 1 minus 0. So ultimately at the denominator you are having positive 1 and your answer is minus 1, and therefore I can say the residue of the given function f of z at z equals to infinity is equals to minus 1, and this is the answer of your complex function at z equals to infinity. So hope these problems and the concept of residue calculation has been understood, and in the next video we are going to solve some integral evaluations problems based on residue theory, right? So we'll stop here. Thank you. Sorry, there are some examples to you for homework. I will give you the homeworks to you now. Homework problems. Homework problem. First is f of z is equals to e raised to zi upon z square plus 1, right? Calculate the residue of the following functions, and the second is f of z is equals to 1 upon z square plus 2, z square plus z, not 1, sorry, z square plus z, right? Yes, z square plus z. The third is f of z is equals to z square upon 1 minus z raised to power 4. Fourth one is f of z is equals to z into cos of 1 by z. Next, fifth is f of z is equals to cos z by z raised to power 4. Sixth is function f of z is equals to hyperbolic sin z divided by z raised to power 4 into 1 minus z square. Right? So these are the homework problems for you. And yes, one more thing, you can use this book also for complex variables and applications. Complex variables and applications by Brown and Churchill. This is the best book for first module complex analysis along with H.K. Das. There are various books you can use, but this will be the best for you. So thank you.